10 Stellingswinkel. 10 Stellingswinkel. What does that mean? Good morning all, 5th of January 2019, opening up the vlog. We're on our way to the Van Gogh Museum here in Amsterdam, Netherlands. It is our last day here. We're flying out at 3:30 this afternoon back to the UK where the Europe adventure continues. And yeah, so it's what, 8:30, 9 in the morning. Just left our hotel. As per yesterday morning, this is what it looks like. Overcast. So anyway, we're off to the Van Gogh Museum. We only managed to get the ticket because we booked a combination ticket with a boat canal cruise tour. So if you want to buy Van Gogh tickets last minute, you probably won't have any luck unless you buy it with a combination with something else. So keep that in mind. You might pay a little bit extra, but it's the only way you get a last minute ticket, I think, to the Van Gogh Museum. We're going back to Losers for coffee. Same place we went to yesterday. I just noticed the name of it. It's so funny. Check this out, Losers. Let's get a loser coffee. Oh,
wow.
Look at that.
Traditional apple pie. Can you imagine what that tastes
like?
like?
Oh my gosh. Oh, carrot cake, look.
But look at it, it's brown.
It's colder today. These Arctic temperatures. Approaching the middle of winter here. Oh. Let's go back to Thailand, Robs.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen
Let's go.
our Thailand series, you go and check it out because it's very different to this. Alright, so if you ever come here, make sure you do the Heineken experience. I'll show you. Yesterday there was a giant queue at the front of this place. It's a massive tourist attraction for Heineken's first brewery. Anyway, we walked past this place yesterday morning and it was a massive queue, seriously. I'll show you. It was from there all the way down here. The queue went all the way around. It opens, I think, from 10 o'clock in the morning or 10:30 in the morning. It's like 9 o'clock now or so, and there's already 4 people waiting. So made a joke yesterday that you have a greater chance of being hit by a bicycle here in Amsterdam than you do by getting hit by a tram or a train or a bus or a car or something like that. There's so many bicycles here. It's like scooters in Thailand. Everybody seems to own a bicycle, and yeah, and when you cross the road here, we've had a couple of close calls. I've had a couple of close calls where I've almost been hit by a bicycle. Anyway, on our way. Oh, look, how's that for timing? I just started recording and the bells started chiming. All right, this is the Rijksmuseum.
That means we've got to hurry up because it's 9:30.
Oh, is it?
That's our slot.
That's a very popular tourist attraction, that Rijksmuseum. We haven't had a chance to go in there, and I don't think we'll get a chance to go in there on this trip, unfortunately. But you'll get to see the outside of it. It's very nice. Alright, I think we're here, Van Gogh Museum, at our 9:30 in the morning time slot. This is it, huh? This is the outside of the museum.
It's glass.
It's very nice cafes and things. I can see it. I'll just show people what it looks like on the outside. I'll turn you around. So that's the Van Gogh Museum, right over there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice cafes. Look where we are. Thank you. We're here, guys. Van Gogh Museum. I was a little happy. Rob's has been wanting to do this for a while now, huh? Haven't you, Robs? She's an artist. She's a watercolor specialist. Oil specialist.
More oil than watercolor.
There you go. So I'm still trying to figure it out. Do you want to get a coffee?
So he painted in a decade. He painted about over 2,000 paintings.
10 Stellings Winkel. 10 Stellings Winkel. What does that mean? 10 Stellings Winkel?
Exhibition shop. But it's so interesting. It's so close to our
That's a mouthful. 10 Stellings Winkel. Got our little audio guides. So it's an hour and a half long, right?
Yeah, that's what I understood.
Well, we're going to finish these coffees off, and we can't take them in. Not sure what content we can collect when we're in there. Probably nothing, and that's okay. But should probably make it on your top of your list. I am not a painter per se, and I'm here. Robsy has been wanting to do this for a while.
Famous Dutch painter.
Make an effort to come here, you know. And with the tickets and stuff, as I mentioned. We couldn't get tickets.
Book in advance.
Yeah. Book everything. Book everything in advance.
Everything. Like I wish we got to see Anne Frank actually.
We just don't plan when we travel.
Now we know.
As much as we should.
We're gonna do differently, aren't we?
And this is the price you pay when you literally book 2 days in advance to come to a country. So I've just walked out of the Van Gogh Museum. Absolutely amazing. We'll give a full debrief on it later. We're actually in a rush to get back to our room to check out. Strict checkout 12 o'clock. It's 11:45. But just quickly, Van Gogh, absolutely inspiring. Started off very enthusiastically at the beginning of the exhibition, and at the end was very somber. For me, the emotional aspect of him dying at such an early age by shooting himself in the chest. He went through a whole life journey of him trying to figure out his style of painting and how he crafted that and how he was influenced by other artists around him. And anyway, talk about this later. I'm not giving the debrief justice, but it's a quick one. If you ever come to Amsterdam, you definitely have to, even for non-artists alike, definitely make an effort to come and check it out. Anyway, so we've got to get back to our room. We literally got 15 minutes without getting hit by a bicycle on the way home. Alrighty then. Good evening, everybody. 10 o'clock in the evening, 5th of January, end of the day, end of the vlog. Now, we're back in Whitstable, UK. We just flew in from Amsterdam maybe a few hours ago, and we went and saw the Van Gogh Museum, and we were in a bit of a rush from the museum back to our hotel room to check out, to get to the airport, to fly back to the UK, so we didn't get a chance to probably do a debrief. But I wanted to talk a bit about the Van Gogh Museum experience and also Amsterdam in general. And I mentioned about how everybody should definitely get a ticket to the Van Gogh Museum in advance, because it does sell out in advance. And you can get it last minute like we did if you get a combination ticket with something else. So the Van Gogh Museum ticket with a canal river cruise or whatever it is, cruise ticket, like a combination ticket. But it's definitely worth it. Now, I want to say that the Van Gogh experience was absolutely amazing. It was such an eye-opening experience to the life of the artist, of Van Gogh himself. I didn't know anything about this guy except that he was one of the most famous artists of all time. But going to the museum was a real eye-opener for me, because you actually go through a bit of a timeline, 3 levels of a timeline of a man who started with doing, portraits of himself. He had no money and was trying to find his way with his own, basically his own style, practicing on his own portrait. He didn't have any money for models, so he used himself. And then over time, you know, when he moved to Paris and went to Japan, he was influenced. You could see that in his paintings. And we went through this audio tour where he explained the whole process and the whole timeline of his journey of how he crafted his own art. And, you know, for me, the major takeaway for that experience was the fact that, like, he was so consistent with how he put out art. He literally put out 70 pieces of art in 76 days, which is super impressive, because when I think about it from a vlogging perspective and putting out videos, I think about how it's super important to put out videos on a regular basis to hone my own craft when it comes to putting out content. And like anything else, you need to be consistent with, you know, if you want to be good at anything in life, you really need to be consistent with putting out that thing, whether you're a writer, a podcaster, a video maker, or a vlogger. I really resonated with that aspect of his, you know, his craft, putting out consistent art, and that's how he became good at his craft. What about you, Robs? What was your key takeaway from that experience?
Oh gosh, well, for me as an artist, looking at his process and the way that he developed his style and how long it actually took to do that, just reminds me of my own process. So as an artist, I have a long way to go. And to also see how he was influenced by other peers at his time, like he got involved in community, but he actually stepped away, and by stepping away and sort of listening to his own voice and practicing in his own time, he developed his own style. And yeah, that just spoke to me a lot, because I'm going through that process myself. So yeah. And
what else did you take away from it?
Well, the consistency, again, exactly what you've just mentioned. And, you know, a guy that, like, looking at his circumstances, and he was against some very difficult circumstances that he had to deal with, yet he persevered with his true love of life, which was art. So no matter where he was, whether he was living back with his parents, you know, surrounded by peasants, and finding the joy, finding the absolute joy in every situation he found himself in, the inspiration, and painting that and putting that out there, and like touching into the real lives of people. You know, it was really touching. And he had he struggled with a mental disorder, which was also like against him, but he continued, and he produced some amazing work.
And I think 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, we didn't do a lot
there was a second exhibition we didn't even make.
Yeah, so that was the letters. So there was 3 levels, but we didn't have time. We had like 90 minutes, but we didn't have time to see the whole thing. So if you're really super keen, maybe 3 hours is enough time to see the whole thing, and really appreciate what this man did and how he contributed and influenced the art community.
And also, what I found fascinating is that he only really found out this passion later on in life.
Well, that's right.
When he was 27 years old.
That's right.
Before that, he was an art dealer, and then he took courage and followed his passion.
You know, it's really interesting to point out, and it's a bit of a ramble, but like everybody thinks they have to have their shit figured out at like 20 or 18 or 15 or whatever it is, you know, but the truth is this man, 27, brushing 30, only figured it out, but then became the most influential artist in the world, you know. The man did it at 27. You know,
and within 3 years, it was in 3 years.
That's right. In 3 years,
that he actually like pumped out all this work.
Pumped out so much content.
Yeah, so it didn't take him long, but it took consistency and passion and dedication, and you could see that he was completely committed to his art.
That's it. But otherwise, Amsterdam has a very like the architecture and the the museums and the ice skating and
that was
just
really fun.
Amazing. Amazing. And that's it, back in the UK.
For the next adventure.
So if you have any questions about Amsterdam, let us know. Let me know. We're back in Whitstable, UK right now. Anything else, Robs, you want to add before I close off this video?
No, it's just been a lot of, well, just to say it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. You got some great content coming your way. Belgium, Brussels, chocolates. What's his name? I always forget the little boy's name.
Mannequin Piss.
Yes, him.
Such strange.
It's like it was a very random trip, but it was so much fun. So much
Brussels,
fun.
Belgium.
I don't know if you're going to show everyone you down the slopes a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
Snowboarding. You know, like, I mean, I've snowboarded for 30 minutes prior to the snowboarding adventure of Snow World, but
you did so well.
Apparently I did
really
well. You know.
You actually didn't even fall that much. Maybe
I did. I fell on my face. So,
he caught edge, guys.
It hurts. I felt it.
He caught edge.
I felt it.
You got to do that.
Anyway. So, moving forward, we're either going to be shooting content in Scotland or shooting content in London. Stick around for that. We don't even know what we're doing.
Nope.
Yep, you'll find out in the next video or two. All right, guys. Have a good night, day, and see you later.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.